Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. I decided that Fridays will be my holiday Fridays instead of Thursdays. And today I'm still inspired by my Simon Says stamp card kit from February 2025, and I got a cat hair on here. Let me get that off. That's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm going to be using this. I'll put a piece of paper behind it. This is their Simon Says Stamps Tweet Friend stamp set that was just released. So I'm going to make a blue card today. This is 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bowl and folder. You can use any color that you might have. This is GinaK's new color, Blue Sky. And then I have a piece of black that is 6 5/8 by 4 5/8, and then a piece of white that is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then for the inside of the card, I have a piece of white cardstock that measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that's going to go on the inside. But I'm going to do a little stamping on it today. Now I'm going to be using a stencil that I made myself out of stencil plastic. I made this when postage stamp stencils were becoming very popular, and I didn't have one. So I made one myself out of stencil plastic. But you can easily take any dies that you have yourself and make it out of cardstock. And I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. I have these set of postage stamp dies. I honestly have no idea where they came from. But you're just going to take some of them, and you want it to be a little bit bigger than the piece of paper you're working on. And you can just center them however you like. And then turn it that way. And then run it through your die cut machine. And I'll just show you. I'll just do this portion. And this is honestly how you can make a stencil any size, shape, combination that you want. And then you would just get your blending tool and stencil through it. And then you could either dispose of that die or keep it if you're gentle enough with your cardboard or your cardstock. And then you have the centers that you could use for something else. But I did mine in stencil plastic because I had some. And I'll link to that video below in the description box. So let me get started. I'm just going to stencil on here since my waffle flower grip mat does not stick to my silicone mat. And now I decide which way I want these to be up. Okay. I'm going to put it down, and I don't see any washi tape right here with me. So let me just grab some Scotch tape just to hold it, and it probably won't hold on the silicone, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to use 2 colors of blue. I've got Blue Sky and then Powder Blue, and I'm going to use the Blue Sky first, and I just want to go lightly in the center of each of my stencils. And I'm going to do the outer portion of the stencil in the darker blue. And if you go over the sides, that's okay. It's not really going to matter. I think I want a little bit more in here. I want that a little bit darker. Okay. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going with the powder blue. And I'm just going to try and get my edges. And I want the edges to be really prominent so you can see the edge of the postage stamp. So I'm kind of running my brush up against the edge as best as I can. So you can see here where it's darker along the outline, and that's what I'm wanting. Now, if you don't want to go over the piece that you've already done, just cover it up. Just kind of doing a two-tone blue here. If I can get this enough ink. Choose any colors that you want. You could even do this in a real pretty rainbow hue. And then I'm going to stamp on top of this. So this is just going to be like a background. Now I could cut these pieces out individually and have an elevated piece, more three-dimensional. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more sky blue. And it's okay that I have the darker color on. And I'm going to add some pressure to make like marbled. To make it look like a swirled marble paper. That's my goal, at least. And I'll need to come back with the other blue to do that. You can see the marbling look that I'm going for. I did this once purely by accident, and I really liked how the marbling, but it's hard to get that stripe solid edge when you're not trying for it, or when you are trying for it. When you're not trying for it, accidents happen, and that's the way it looks. Okay, so I'm done with that, and that's how that looks. I'm just going to set that aside to clean later. Now, I have this stencil. This was, I think, an Amazon purchase or a garage sale, yard sale. It's just like a pinwheel, and I'm just going to do the edges, not where I have already done. I'm just going to come in lightly with soft stone. Just any stencil you might have that'll add a little bit of decor to the edge where your postage stamp isn't. And I'm going very lightly. Just adding a design. And you're not going to see the full pinwheel. We're just seeing like little bits and pieces of it. A little bit more up there. So it just kind of looks like that. And I know this ink will smooth out a little bit, but I'm loving that marbled finish, and that's what I was going for. Set that stencil aside. Now, just to get on with stamping. So I've got my Misty. Now I have to figure out what I want to put where. And I'm going to do a slight amount of coloring on this, but not everything. Most of this is just going to be left with the ink. Now I love this flying bird here. And I'm going to put it so that it's partway off of the postage stamp. So it looks like it's coming out. And then there's a little itty bitty bird over here. And again, I'm going to bring, now he's small enough, I'm going to put him all the way inside. And then we have this, I like that bird there. Okay. I'll put that bird here along with some music notes coming out. Because this bird's just a singing. I don't know if I'm going to stamp these all at the exact same time, but I want to put them in here. And I think I'll need to use that little bird again over here. This bird needs something. Let's see. I know I want to put "You Are the Tweetest." And I'm thinking "You Are the Tweetest Friend." I put "friend" down here. Let's see. Let's move the bird. "You are the tweetest" up here. "You are the tweetest" above the stamp with the bird singing. Maybe I'll put a little bit of song coming out of that bird. Okay, I'm going to just put this down and I'm going to do a test stamp on acetate, because that's a lot of work to do and then not have it come out. And I have not used these stamps yet, so I need to condition them. Just rub my finger across them. Don't need a lot of ink. I just want to make sure everything's straight and it looks okay. I don't like those notes coming from that bird, so I'm going to take those off. "Friend" is good to stay where it is, which is good because I didn't have it down in the corner, so I got a little bit of ink on there. I'm just going to use the one set of notes. And then there's a little heart. There's some hearts here. Maybe if I just put a heart right there above "friend," but there's a smaller heart too. Okay, I'm going to go with the smaller heart. Pick that up. No, I don't want to restart my computer now. Thank you very much for asking. Just clean off the acetate. All right, I think I like this layout, so let me go for it. Okay. Oh, I do like that. That came out nice. I'll pull that up where you can see it a little bit closer. That is so cute. All right. Now, if I'd have got the die set for this, I could have cut out a couple of the birds and had them popped up. So I may add that to my list for next month. I'm just going to set this aside because I don't want to take the time to take them off their stamps yet. Now I'm going to color just the littlest bit. And I've got YR492 reddish yellow that I thought I'm going to try putting on the beaks just to add a little color to the bird. And then I have B289 pastel blue. I got this out to use for rhinestones, but I thought I'm going to try adding a little bit of color accents to the bird itself, like on the edges of the wings, just to bring in some deeper color. And I kind of like that. And then I'm going to follow the lines that were already stamped on here. And then I'm going to add some to the tail. maybe to the top of the head. Just adds a little bit of color. Not a lot, so you don't have to go crazy with your coloring. So if you're not great at coloring or just starting to color or don't have time to color, just throw a few little highlights in. Now he's in a nest, so I think I'm going to use the same that I used for his beak to color the nest. I didn't see a nest before this very moment. All right. I think it'll look okay in the same color. Again, I'm not coloring it in on 100%. Now I'll get it together and then I'm going to add some stickles and my usual wonderful. Oh, I did want to stamp on here. Okay, so I'm just going to use my smaller stamping platform. Now it's the wrong size. It won't fit the inside. So let me take off. I'm going to use that top bird. Take off the rest. And I'll leave them right here on my mat so that I remember to put them back where they belong as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm going to use the same bird and put it just down here in the bottom with the song notes. There we go. Inside of the cardstock. Once you get your stencil made, then it's so much quicker just to make a card using the stencil you already have. And you can make it out of cardstock. You don't have to have stenciling plastic. I just happen to have it. I bought it years ago. And it has definitely come in handy. I've made a few stencils out of it for like painting wood objects and stuff. But I started using it more for my card making. It's not a big investment. It is a little bit of money, but well, I don't know what the current cost is. It was about $9 when I bought it. And you got like 10 or 12 pieces. So I'm sure it's more now. But any plastic, you could even use the plastic that comes with your stamps, especially this one. This one's a real heavy, sturdy. I think this is a GinaK. You could cut that up as a stencil. Okay. All right. Now I am just going to add some stickles. And I chose diamond. And I'm going to add it to the bird wings. And see if I need to add it anywhere else. Wing and the tail. And this one is a little baby bird. And I'm going to use, I have a stickle brush. It's just a paintbrush. I don't wash it. I use it only for stickles, and it gets nice and firm. I have two, actually. One that's a big, fatter brush, and then the little tiny one. If you want to wash it out, you can. There's just no real need to. Every once in a while, you'll get like a big ball of glued stickles on the end, and you can just peel that off once it's dry. Doesn't affect a thing. Okay, now I think that looks cute with just the wings stickled. See, I don't know if I can get them to show. Yeah, there you see. All right, I do want to add just a few little rhinestones, and that's why I've got this blue. I'm going to add just a color. I believe this will be close enough, or just a pale blue. It's a very, very pastel blue. I'll color 5 of them. Get my tweezers just to see if I need any. I might not. I'm not putting them down solidly because I want to see how they're going to look. They have glue on them, but I'm not pressing them and adhering them yet. I don't think it needs a whole lot of them. This one's just odd placement. Nope, I don't think I need that other one. I'm just going to go with those 3 on it. And I need to get my glue that's on the back of this one from sticking out. Now press those down. Okay, get that glue. Okay, that is my card for today. Using the Simon Says card kit plus my own stencil creation. Get your stuff out and play. And see, the marbling finish has toned down a bit, but it still has that nice marbled finish. And if you can't get that, you can always stencil over it and give yourself the marbled finish. But I wanted to just add the stencil to the background. And then this is the inside of my card. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy.